everyone and welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time here, then hi, my name is Lauren. And on my channel, we mostly talk about anything luxury, but we also discuss lifestyle and beauty. So if you're interested in any of these topics, please consider subscribing to my channel and we'll get started with the video. So in today's video, I'm going to be presenting you the reasons why I will not be purchasing the Chanel Business Affinity backpack. So if you're curious to hear the reasons why, then please keep on watching. So really quickly before we start this video, I'm sure that you must be wondering why I'm holding this bag in my hands in a video titled Why I'm Not Going to Get This Bag. That's because the piece that I'm holding right here is actually not a real bag, it is a replica that a fake factory very kindly sent me. I've actually been working with them in the past on real versus fake videos, and their items are always of excellent quality. They look just like the real ones. So this is actually a bag that I went to try in the store a while ago, and this replica looks just like it. It's almost indistinguishable. So if you're interested in getting this backpack or basically anything else from the fake factory, then I will go ahead and leave all of the relevant information in the description box of the video down below for you, along with the coupon code. And without further ado, let's get started with the video. So the first and biggest reason why this bag will not work for me, and the reason why I will not be purchasing it, is because of its lack of structure. So throughout my luxury journey, I have found out that non-structured bags just do not work for me because they have a much higher wear and tear. And in general, I don't really love the look of them. I don't love a bag that's like slouchy. I feel like it looks like neglected, not really, you know, in tip-top shape. So this bag actually does lack structure. I know that it doesn't show like this. That's because the bag is actually stuffed with a lot of plastic. So it's fine if you stuff it with something, or maybe if you put a bag organizer inside. But on its own, it really is a bag that is unstructured. And the main problem that I have with that is a backpack is not going to be a bag that you use very often. So that means that most often than not, it's going to be like stored away or like, you know, like resting on a closet shelf or something like that. And if it's a bag that's unstructured, that leads to a lot of damage. I think it's maybe fine to buy an unstructured bag for an everyday bag. For example, the Goyard bag that I have, because it's never really like sleeping. But for a backpack, it's going to be something, at least in my lifestyle, that I'm going to use maybe like once or twice a month. And so for that reason, having an unstructured bag that's resting on your shelf is really not ideal. Next, we have the type of leather. So this bag is actually made out of caviar leather, which supposedly or normally is my preferred type of leather. If you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you know that I'm obsessed with Chanel, and basically all of my bags are in caviar leather. I have very few bags in lambskin leather or in general for other brands in like a smoother type of leather. But although this is in caviar leather, it's made out of a different type of caviar leather than the one that's used for most flat bags, which I don't really understand why. So here it's like a smoother type of caviar leather, which means it's prone to having a lack of structure and creasing. So I feel like for me, I don't really understand why they did that, because a backpack is kind of like a bag that you use and abuse. So it's obviously very indicated that they would have used a much more resistant type of caviar leather, but they did precisely the opposite. So I don't really get this. I feel like it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And in general, I'm not a fan of the material. This type of leather is not made for me, especially not when it comes to a backpack. The next reason why I will not be buying this bag has to do with the weight of it. This is actually a pretty heavy bag to start with. So once you start, putting stuff inside, like maybe even a bag organizer or heavier items, it becomes really annoying. And so the way that the bag is made, the shape of it, has this pocket right here in the front, which is nice and practical. But because it has this pocket in the front, the bag tends to tilt forward because of this heavier pocket. It has, the zipper and everything, so that makes it heavier, so it tilts forward, which makes it such that if the bag is like, quote, standing up, the bag tilts forward, and so if you have stuff inside, they tend to spill. So if you have like larger items, that may be fine because it's easier to collect. But if you have like smaller things, you know, like, I don't know, like a card holder, a lipstick, a small hand sanitizer, if you have a bunch of smaller items, it can be something that can be annoying pretty quickly. And this is in general a bag that just doesn't stay still. It will always, like, you know, tilt forward, so you have to kind of put it against something or against like a wall or a surface, because it's not a bag that is able to stand up on its own fully flat. Next up, we have the fact that the bag creases easily, and that's something that I have mentioned before. It's actually due to two main things. Number one, the type of leather. So like we've said before, this is a smoother type of caviar leather. But then also because of the shape of the bag, so especially like right here on the side, you can see that even though the bag is brand new, I mean, I have like never really used it, and I just got it, even though it is brand new, you can already see that there's like creases, and that's because of the shape of the bag. So I feel like this is not a bag that's going to have really great wear and tear. On the contrary, so for me, the creasing is a problem. And then also about the wear and tear, so if you flip it to look at right here, like the bottom part does not have little feet that the bag can rest on, and for me that is really a deal breaker, especially for a backpack. Once again, a backpack in my mind is a bag that you can, you know, like use and abuse, and so you're going to put it on the floor more than likely. So if it doesn't have like the little feet, the damage to the bag is like very, very serious. So for me, I really don't understand why it, you know, didn't think of that. I know that for some people it makes the bag look less appealing and maybe less fancy, but it is so practical, and you know, in my mind, I feel like a backpack needs to be practical. So for me, the creasing and the lack of feet will lead to poor wear and tear, which is a big no-no when it comes to buying a handbag. Next, we have the fact that it really is difficult to get in and out of the bag. And I know that for some people that can be a benefit, especially if you're scared of pickpockets or something. But in my mind, a backpack is supposed to be a practical bag that you can get in and out of very quickly. Usually it's used as like a travel bag or maybe a mom bag. In all of those scenarios, you need to access stuff like quickly and easily, and it's really not going to be the case with this bag. So the first thing that you have to do is like twist the little closure system. So far, so good, easy peasy. Then you have to lift this. It doesn't stay in place, so you basically have to hold it with one hand, and then you have to pull on this right here, and then you have to hold it again. It's very, very annoying. And then you have to like open it, and so there you have it. But that basically makes it such that, number one, you need both hands, and then see how I have to hold this part? That really makes it such that this back part right here really creases easily, and I'm sure 100% this is gonna lead to like bad wear and tear of the bag. So it really is not a bag that's practical. It's not a bag that like you can get in and out of quickly, and if you need like two hands to open it and you know you need to access something, an emergency, your only option then would be putting that in the front pocket, but then it cancels the pro, you know, about like the pickpockets. If you have something in here, yes, you can access this easily, but so can pickpockets. And you know, once again, like a backpack is something that you have on your bag, so you're not going to be like watching it at all times. So for me, the difficult to get in and out of the bag is a big deal breaker. And lastly, we have the ways that you can hold this bag. Obviously, this is a backpack, so it can be used as a backpack. But say you're trying to use it as like a handbag, you could potentially do that because of this little thing right here. But the gripe that I have with this is that the chain is actually very, very thin, so that makes it such that it's really uncomfortable. It really is kind of like sharp, and I feel like if you're doing that for a long time, this really would hurt your hands. It is quite uncomfortable, though I love the look of it, especially because this is a type of like backpack that's classier. You know, this isn't like your everyday backpack like that you would use for a hike. this is a backpack that you would use, you know, of course in everyday situations, but sometimes, you know, you could take pictures with it, like pose and stuff like that. But it really is impractical to hold it like that because of the chain. And also, like we've mentioned before, this is a heavier backpack to start with. So there's a lot of weight to it, and that makes it such that the chain kind of like cuts your hands in an unpleasant way. So not a fan of that. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that the video was beneficial and informational for you in case you were looking at acquiring this Chanel Business Affinity backpack. Definitely know that it doesn't work for me, but once again, like every time, it's not because it doesn't work for me that it may not be a great bag for you. It's just for my lifestyle and for my needs, it's not convenient, but it might be a great option for you. So if you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.